Hello students, welcome to English class. I hope you would have learned the first lesson, question answers. Already I have sent the PDF of the first lesson question answers. I told you to write it in the classwork notebook, and I have sent three compositions also, letter writing, and I hope that you would have written it in your composition notebook. Finish all the work that I give then and there itself so that it will be easy for you. Now today we'll start with the first poem. First poem, Unit 1. This poem is a memory poem, and already as it is a memory poem, you must know to read it clearly, and then only it will be easy for you to memorize. So already I have sent a voice message of this poem. I have read the poem clearly with proper stress, pause, and pronunciation. So hear that audio and you read and memorize the poem. Okay. Now I'll give you the meaning of the first poem. Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening, written by Robert Frost. Now, who is this Robert Frost? Robert Frost was an American poet, noted for his realistic description of village life. He was born on 26th March 1874. He spent his life first 40 years as an unknown person. He received 4 prizes for poetry. Some of his famous poems are The Road Not Taken, West Running Brook, Mending Wall, After Apple Picking, etc. Jawaharlal Nehru, the former Prime Minister of India, had the last 2 lines of this poem written in block letters and placed it on his desk, as these lines reminded him of his responsibilities. Now, before going into the meaning of the poem, I'll give you the meaning of the unknown words in the poem. First word, queer, meaning strange or odd. Next word, woods, meaning an area of land covered with a thick growth of trees. Next word, harness, meaning straps and fittings by which a horse is fastened to a cart or carriage. Next word, frozen, meaning in ice form. Next word, sweep, meaning to move swiftly and smoothly. Next word, downy, meaning soft and fluffy. Next word, flake, meaning a small piece of snowflake. Now, what is this poem about? This poem is about a beautiful experience of the poet. Once upon a time, the poet, he happened to travel through a forest, woods, and he was traveling on his horse. It was a cold evening, and snowfall was very heavy. and the woods, the field, the scenery. It was very beautiful. And the poet, he suddenly stopped his horse and he started admiring the scenery. The beautiful field covered with snow. And while he was admiring the scenery, he was just thinking, who would be the owner of this field? And again, in his mind, he is guessing. Maybe the owner of the field will be living in a village at a very far distance. His horse was really confused because his horse was not able to understand why his master is suddenly standing at a particular place without any reason. Slowly, the evening is getting dark. And so the horse is slowly shaking his harness bells. Harness bells means the bells tied in his neck. And by hearing the sound of the harness bell, the poet was shaken from his thoughts and he decides to move. The place was very silent except the sound of the harness bells of his horse. Actually, the poet was not willing to go from that place. The beautiful scenery attracted him, mesmerized him, and he was not willing to move that place. But still, he says, or he thinks, or he decides that he has to fulfill many promises and he has to do many duties in his life. And he just can't be standing in that particular place for day and night. And so he slowly makes up his mind and he moves from that place. Actually, with a regret or with a pain in his heart only, he moves from that place. But still, his life journey is calling him. He has many duties to fulfill in his life journey, and thinking about it, he moves from that place. Hope you would have understood the lesson poem, children. In the next class, I will teach you the figure of speech in the poem. Memorize the poem, write the poem without seeing the book, and send it to me. Have a blessed day.